In the aftermath of the Inferno, the Goa police issued lookout notices against nightclub owners Saurav and Gaurav Luthra. They strongly suspected that the duo would attempt to flee the country. As a precautionary measure, all airports and police stations across the country were alerted. But the lookout notice came late. At 5:30 a.m. on Sunday, barely hours after the blaze at their nightclub, the Luthra brothers were already airborne. Headed to Phuket in Thailand on Indigo flight 6E1073. The Goa police team that had reached Delhi armed with an arrest warrant were left empty-handed. Late on Saturday evening, when the Luthra brothers, owners of Birch, were still in Goa, a cracker had set fire to their nightclub. A fire so sudden and devastating that within minutes it had snuffed out 25 lives. Diganta Patir was just 22 years old. He had moved to Goa a year ago from distant Dhemaji in Assam. He was a cook at the ill-fated nightclub that caught fire. It was his family in Assam that received the phone call to inform them that their son was gone forever.
गैस ब्लास्टिंग में इस दुनिया से चला गया। ये तो बहुत दुख का बात है। तो अभी क्या करेगा वो, तो उसका खाली सिर्फ माँ ही है, माँ है, कोई नहीं है, माँ है और छोटा सा एक भैया है।
Vinod Joshi, along with his wife and 3 sisters-in-law, had travelled to Goa on Friday. It was to be a dream vacation for this family from Karawal Nagar in Delhi. But that terrible evening, Bhavna Joshi could only watch helplessly as her husband Vinod and her 3 sisters, Kamala, Anita and Saroj, got trapped by the flames. They died like 21 others, most of them suffocated to death. Bhavna herself narrowly escaped, having been caught up in the rush of the fleeing crowds. She got separated from the rest of her family as the panicked guests fled the burning building. It saved her life. According to eyewitnesses, the fire at Birch by Romeo Lane in Goa's Arapura village started around 1 a.m. At the time, about 100 people were having a great time at the venue, some 25 kilometers from Goa's capital, Panaji. Eyewitnesses say the fire started from electronic flower pot crackers used in the club. Sparks from these crackers came in contact with the decorative bamboo ceiling of the club and then caught fire. Chaos followed. The entire complex turned into an inferno in 5 minutes. The club was in fumes. The fire led to a stampede as people tried to flee. While many of the guests and staff did manage to escape, some fled towards the basement downstairs where they got trapped as the fire cut them off from any escape. After fire engines managed to put out the flames, 25 bodies were found. The preliminary investigation into the Arapura nightclub tragedy revealed that of the 25 victims, 23 had no visible burn injuries. Only 2 were badly charred. The rest had suffocated to death. Those who died were trapped in the basement or underground kitchen areas lacking adequate ventilation or emergency exits. There was reportedly no way out once smoke filled the space. The nightclub Birch is located near the backwaters of the Arapoda River and has a narrow entry and exit. It even promoted itself as an island club and is connected to the main road through narrow lanes. Lanes that proved inaccessible when the fire tenders came. The firefighters had to stop some 400 meters away from the blaze. The club had only 2 exit gates, narrow exits, wooden interiors, and combustible furniture contributed to rapid smoke buildup and prevented timely escape. The tragedy in Goa wasn't primarily a burn disaster, it was a smoke disaster.
मैंने प्रिलिमिनरी जब इंक्वायरी की तब उस क्लब में कुछ तो इंसिडेंट के वजह से ऊपर आग लगी और आग लगने के बाद यानी वेरी कंजेस्टेड डोर्स थे, उससे कुछ लोग बाहर आ गए और आग भड़कने के बाद बाकी लोग बाहर नहीं आ सके. बाकी लोग जो अंडरग्राउंड एरिया में जाके गए, अंडरग्राउंड वेंटिलेशंस वहाँ पे न होने के कारण सफोकेशन के वजह से बाकी लोगों की मृत्यु हो गई है.
Goa has over the years become something of an international destination for epic parties, like a Phuket or a Bali or Ibiza. In the 1990s, party in Goa became a global fad and the tiny state began to attract increasing number of ravers and fun seekers from around the world. While the mega trance raves of the late 1990s is now memory, Goa still remains a hot favorite for both domestic and international visitors seeking fun times, repetitive beats, and a chance to let their hair down.
It's in beaches which bring people to Goa at day, but at the night it's the nightlife which attract people to stay after the sunset. This industry wove into the identity of a state which also heavily depends on the rule which often been stretched. But the image which has been created since a long time of old Goa is drug and party paradise, but is less true now. But some incidents and some lapses make this again a narrative which is coming to people's mind.
According to travel websites and tourist brochures, the best time to party in Goa is between November and March. Advertised as one of the best places to visit in December, Goa beaches and nightclubs leading up to Christmas and then New Year's turns into 24/7 party destinations. This popularity and crush during season time, coupled with petty corruption and lack of administrative rigor, has also meant the cutting of corners when it comes to safety norms.
Proper policies to be made for the tourist that जो गोवा जाते हैं वहाँ पे गोवंस को भी ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि यार आपके यहाँ लोग आ रहे हैं एज अ गेस्ट, यू शुड टेक केयर ऑफ देम. देयर शुड बी अ प्रॉपर हेल्पलाइन फॉर द टूरिस्ट और टूरिस्ट की बात को सीरियसली लिया जाए, स्पेशली द विमेंस, बिकॉज विमेन सेफ्टी इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन द कंट्री राइट नाउ.
The FIR in the current incident noted that the nightclub did not have an emergency exit door on the ground floor as well as on the deck floor to evacuate in case of emergency. It was also said to be operating without proper permissions and licenses.
Right now we are standing just outside the Birch Club. This is a very place where that unfortunate tragedy took place, in which what we have seen that 25 lives have been lost. So if you see, there were certainly several violations that took place inside this very club, and right now the investigation is currently underway. Whenever Goa tries to come out of that nightlife culture, what we have seen that in order to bring out the culture and cuisine, such kind of violations basically limits that. So if you see at the end of it, what we see that it's the common people and the visitors who come over here bears the brunt of it.
The Goa Inferno is only the latest in a series of devastating fire incidents where lives are lost because rules are bent and building safety norms are ignored. In just the past 18 months, there have been 3 major fire incidents at places where people gathered to party. In May 2024, an amusement park arcade in Rajkot, Gujarat was the site of a tragedy. A fire broke out at the TRP game zone that investigations later revealed happened due to corrupt practices and sheer negligence. The amusement park had been operating illegally in a residential area for 4 years without even the basic necessary no objection certificate. The massive fire that claimed 35 lives was caused when welding sparks fell on and ignited plastic and fuel stored on the premises. At the time of the fire, the amusement park was bustling with visitors, mostly families with children enjoying their school summer vacations. In April 2025, a blaze in central Kolkata left 15 people dead. The fire started at around 8:15 p.m. in the evening, first detected in a room close to the kitchen on the first floor of the Rituraj Hotel. Flames and smoke soon engulfed the entire building in the Bara Bazaar business district of the city. At the time, with the 45-room hotel running on full capacity, there were about 50 people on the premises. 15 of them never managed to leave. When the fire was finally put out and rescuers went in, they found most of the dead in the staircase of the hotel, having suffocated because of a lack of oxygen. Just a month after the Kolkata hotel blaze, a fire in Hyderabad killed 17 people, including 8 children and 5 women who had gathered to celebrate a family event. The fire broke out in a 3-story building near Hyderabad's iconic Charminar, when a display cabinet of a pearl shop on the ground floor short-circuited. The fire spread rapidly because of the wooden interiors of the century-old building. Once again, most of the dead died because of smoke inhalation. The single narrow entrance to the building had decided the destiny of the victims. The windows in the house were closed due to the use of air conditioners, and with no outlet for the smoke, the building turned into a gas chamber.
Early morning, 2 sisters had gone out for a morning walk, and the others were all at home resting. And that's when the fire happened in the electric shop circuit. Then the shop caught fire. We are told 2 of the shops, including Modi Pearls, belonged to the family. And as soon as that fire started erupting, there is a compressor that also burst, and there is a huge smoke that came out, and that smoke kind of became a gas chamber, a death trap for people who were inside.
Four days after the fire and 3 days after the Luthra brothers had fled the country, justice in the form of a bulldozer descended on their second property in Goa. In Delhi, having missed the Luthra brothers, the police took into custody Ajay Gupta, one of the owners of Birch by Romeo Lane nightclub in Goa. A lookout notice had been issued against Gupta after the Goa police failed to find him at his residence. He was arrested when he got himself admitted to the Institute of Brain and Spine in Delhi's Lajpat Nagar. When asked about his involvement, the co-owner of the nightclub claimed he was merely a sleeping partner in the enterprise.
मैडम दरवाजा खोलिए।
is on to apportion blame. 25 people are dead. The police are treating this as a case of culpable homicide, not amounting to murder, negligence, and acts endangering safety. In the initial burst of action, 4 staff members, including the manager of the nightclub, were arrested. Property of the Luthras were bulldozed, and officials from multiple government departments involved in issuing permits and licenses to the club were summoned for questioning to examine potential compliance lapses and procedural violations. Goa's State Disaster Management Authority has issued an advisory for nightclubs, restaurants, bars, event venues and similar establishments, laying down several measures for fire safety and crowd control. The advisory has asked the establishments to ensure functional smoke and heat detectors, alarms, sprinklers, hydrants, hose reels and serviced extinguishers. Most of these measures are those which by default should already be there. No one knows how much of that will be adhered to. But for now, the party must go on. Till the next inferno, till the next tragedy, till the next death breaks the trance, before the cycle begins once again.
ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए और ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए।
अरे ये क्या है?
ये आपकी रक्षा के लिए और ये घर की रक्षा के लिए।
न जले न पिघले, घर घर को सेफ बनाएं। अपार अणुशक्ति फायर प्रोटेक्ट वायर।
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Other opposition parties.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
I just feel very privileged in the film industry, an industry that I'm extremely proud of.
I'm honored to receive this prestigious award.
I feel overwhelmed that the NDTV has chosen me for this very special award.
Thank you so very much. This means a lot to me.
It's a great honor and a great privilege.
really blessed to get this, and I'm really happy.
This is one of the few moments I'm going to be humble, so please record this properly, guys.
आज का दिन सबसे पहले जो फुट सोल्डर्स, जो प्रिजाइडिंग ऑफिसर्स और जो टीम है उनको सेलिब्रेट करने का है.
And the NDTV Indian of the Year Award 2025 goes to
NDTV Indian of the Year 2025, 19 December, New Delhi. Ideas, inspiration, impact. They rule the world. Won a billion hearts. Now, meet the champions who made the nation proud. The Indian women's cricket team at the NDTV Indian of the Year. The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France, in Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They're now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad साहब ऐसे मत कीजिए.
Good evening and welcome. Thanks very much for tuning in to NDTV 24/7. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and on every story that matters, the buck stops here. It's been a week since Dhurandhar hit theatres, but the last 7 days have seen a meltdown of epic proportions around this movie. At the box office, make no mistake, the film is reeling in the cash, making 200 crores in just the last 7 days. But outside of the theatres, it's quite a different story. Even as people queue up at the box office to try and get a ticket, the so-called critics in India and outside of the country are practically in tears. 6 Gulf nations, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait and Oman have also now imposed a ban on Dhurandhar screening. The reason apparently behind this is the strong anti-Pakistan narrative in the film. Why anyone should have a problem with terror groups and terror sponsors being called out, your guess is as good as mine. Meanwhile, in India, what are the main problems being pointed out? Well, the film Dhurandhar has been labelled as highly toxic, majoritarian and even Islamophobic. Joining the bandwagon of these film critics is the opposition now, which has given the film a P certificate. P for propaganda. Don't you feel that Dhurandhar has unfolded a deja vu moment? This is the same opposition which protested against movies in the recent past like Kashmir Files, Kerala Story, even Bengal Files, even Haq, which basically talks about women's right to dignity. Even that got the same P certificate from these political critics. That same narrative is being spun all over again around Dhurandhar. R. Madhavan, a key cast member, has now broken his silence on this criticism. While talking to a media outlet, he said that he expected this to happen. He also said that one wonders if there's actually an agenda, considering the enormity of the backlash and how it was slowly built up, how it was fed with artificial outrage. The BJP has also slammed these critics in political parties and outside, asking whether freedom of speech and cinematic license can be a one-way street.
देखिए ऐसा है कि बेसिकली वो पॉलिटिकल है, कम्युनल मूवी है और उसको बनवाया गया है और यूपीए सरकार को को बैड नेम के तौर पर बताया गया है कि यूपीए सरकार में भ्रष्टाचार है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा। ये प्रोपेगेंडा मूवी है, जैसे केरला फाइल थी और कश्मीर फाइल है। तो ये प्रोपेगेंडा मूवी है, मोटिवेटेड है, बीजेपी फंडेड है, बीजेपी की है और मुस्लिम विरोधी भी है।
धुरंधर के नाम पर द इस्लामोफोबिया लॉबी फिर से एक बार काम पर। नाउ आफ्टर फाइंडिंग इस्लामोफोबिया इन सीए, ट्रिपल तलाक, वक्फ लॉ and all other actions of the government, now even in films which are targeting Pakistan, which are exposing the true terrorist face of Pakistan and which are hailing the manner in which our agencies work to eliminate the threat of terrorism, even in that, certain people of the Congress lobby find that it is Islamophobic, they find that it is UPA Virodhi, it is against the Congress, the film is against Pakistan. Yes, the film shows that how the template of our response to terror has changed.
And that brings me to the big questions on which the buck stops here. Is Dhurandhar about patriotism or is this really propaganda? And if it is propaganda, then what does one make of hundreds and thousands of people who over the last 7 days have gone to theatres, have given their hard-earned money and ensured that 200 crores have been made in just 7 days? Aren't the people who are the best judge actually smashing that propaganda narrative? And joining us on the show today, we have Aditya Raj Kaul, research consultant for the film Dhurandhar, and also our colleague here, senior executive editor at NDTV, author and podcaster Kushal Mehra, political analyst Sanjay Jha. But my first question is to Arfa Khanam Sherwani, journalist and somebody who has put out multiple reviews of the film as well. Arfa, thanks very much for joining us here on the show. 200 crores earned by this film in the first week itself. Surely that is a resounding verdict by the viewers in favor of the film. Do you think at least this debate is now settled? The viewers, the audience has accepted Dhurandhar. They don't really think that it's propaganda or problematic.
I don't think profit ever will be a benchmark for anything to be moral or ethical or right or proper. So I don't think I will agree with you on this. But Padmja, before I go on with what I want to say, I think I am now convinced. Earlier I was thinking maybe it was a coincidence that the film, the way it has been scripted and portrayed on the big screen, maybe it might indirectly benefit the ruling party. But now I'm convinced the way every single critic of this film who did not like the film, including myself, is being attacked on social media, left, right and center. As a journalist, who's a political journalist, I'm not even your regular film journalist, but I thought that this film had a wider and a bigger, larger impact on our society and politics. And that's why I took a decision to watch the film and also did a review of it. The way people like me and many others are being targeted, bullied, teased and harassed and attacked, I am now convinced that this is a part of BJP and RSS's cultural project. It's no more an innocent film. So I am saying this on record that I am nearly convinced that this is not an innocent piece of work. So that is why I don't think we should even be rating this film based on, like a creative license.
Okay. Aditya, you worked on the film. Is it a part of the BJP's cultural project? Coincidentally, you're also wearing saffron, I have to point out.
Yeah, guilty as charged, Padmaja. लेकिन पद्मजा जी सबसे पहले तो मैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा धन्यवाद और
And also I'm wearing green, by the way.
अरफा जी का
You're wearing green, all right. We've clearly chosen our sides here. Yes.
नहीं, मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ और बहुत ही धन्यवाद करता हूँ अरफा जी का कि उनका एकमात्र जो क्रिटिसिज्म इसका रहा वो सक्सेस के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा मात्र रहा. मुझे लगता है बीजेपी आरएसएस का तो इससे कोई लेना देना है नहीं. मैं चाहूँगा आप इंडिपेंडेंटली इन्वेस्टिगेट करिए इसको और लोगों के सामने लाइए अगर आपके पास कोई तथ्य हैं. बट टू द ऑडियंस अ बिग थैंक यू ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ द धुरंधर टीम, ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ आदित्य दार and obviously the entire star cast. I was a research consultant, so my duty with the film was to tell the audience about the reality. Now, I don't think that the Mumbai 26/11 attack was a propaganda. I don't think that the victims of the Mumbai 26/11 attack were a propaganda or a political tool. Similarly, Padmaja, I don't think that IC-814 or the Pulwama or any other terror attack has been a propaganda. Now, what is wrong with the film? I don't understand. Only factual, substantive details have been given. Even the spy theory that is in the film has been reported widely by Indian media organizations. So it is out in the open. The story of Zahur Mistry, the story of the spies, the story of all the perpetrators. Now, if they are Muslim, we are not blaming the community. We are just stating their names. We are just stating the organizations, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. What is wrong with it? So I personally do not believe that this is a propaganda.
Because this will end up benefiting the BJP. That is what Arfa is saying, that this will end up benefiting the BJP. And by the way, she's not the only one. I was watching some other journalist, Mubashir Luqman. He in fact insisted that Mr. Modi himself wrote the script of this film.
You know, I don't have much to say about that. But what I will tell you, Padmaja, is that this has happened before. There is a syndicate that is working relentlessly, not just in Bollywood, but across the stream, in media, in other professions, in other domains, to completely typecast a certain audience that is nationalistic, a certain, filmmakers who are nationalistic. It happened before with the Kashmir Files, which told the story of the Islamist terrorism on the Kashmiri Pandits, on the Kashmir Valley in the last 3 to 4 decades, and it's happening again. But, Padmaja, it's the audience that is giving a loud noise on this entire matter, because 200 crore is not about valuation, it's not about the money, it's also about the social media chatter.
And
that
also,
is what paid.
let's be very clear, we've all, in college over the last 20 years, we've seen various shades of film being made. When a Parzania is made, nobody says the Congress got it made. When Final Solution was made, it was screened in my college. Nobody said it was a Congress project or it's a cultural project by the Congress. Multiple such films have also been made. There have been Haider, there have been Shikara. Why is it that when a certain different shade of story is told, suddenly it becomes propaganda or BJP's cultural project?
Well, that's what is quite visible out here.
Arfa?
I'm sure.
I mean,
think Arfa, you should
Padmaja,
speak.
Is that a question to me? Yeah.
Yes,
so
go on.
Padmaja, I'm saying, my friend Aditya, I don't think, I'm not a fan of personal attacks, and this is not an attack. It is an observation that somebody who's been part of this whole project, I don't think the opinion of that person should be considered as an objective opinion. It would be like me making a news report and you asking me to make a comment on my own news report. So I don't think this should be considered as a distant, observant, commentary, but leave that aside. I am being forced now here to say things which I thought were not proper for me to say. But let me tell you why I think this film is blatantly anti-Muslim. It may have been projected as being an attack on Pakistan. Do whatever you want to do, attack Pakistan, attack ISI, make a film on their military, make a film on their government, make a film on Pakistani society. Me as an Indian citizen, as a journalist who reports on India, I really don't care. But what I do care, and I'm really concerned about the way this film is being badly and hugely going to impact the 200 million Muslims who are already a big victim of the politics of Hindutva, the politics of majoritarianism for the past 11 years. There is a mighty government which is using its machinery against Muslims. It has used it on many occasions, whether it is bulldozers, whether it is bringing anti-Muslim
How
laws,
will the Indian
or
Muslim
even
be
now
impacted?
this hatred which is being spread.
How will the Indian Muslim be impacted?
Yeah, just allow me some time. That's what I'm saying. I was not even meaning to, exactly, I'm coming to this. So I am saying the kind of scenes in this film. So I'll give you an example of one scene. In this particular scene, Sanjay Dutt says something to the effect when he refers to circumcision, which is khatna. And he literally refers to the genitals, the private parts of Muslim men. When Sanjay Dutt says that, first of all, even if it's an A-rated film, how did the censor board allow such a demeaning thing for not just Indian Muslims, but Muslims in general, or men who have circumcised, genitals in general? So first of all that, and the way the crowd cheered after that very demeaning, denigrating,
but isn't Sanjay Dutt himself playing a Muslim character in the
dialogue
film?
Which was uttered by Sanjay Dutt. This is just one example, Padmaja, I've just given you. I can give you at least 1 dozen such example where Muslims in general, not Indian or otherwise, just Muslim symbols, how they've been attacked. I felt so uneasy.
Okay.
And remember, I am not even somebody who's like a deeply religious Muslim. I'm more of a social and cultural Muslim. Even then, I felt so deeply attacked, and I felt like I was being insulted sitting in that theater.
Okay, let me bring in quickly Kushal Mehra. Is these crude references are about a certain community? Kushal.
I mean, so actually, it's very interesting. I watched the movie in two separate theaters because I had to take my family the next time. The first time I'd gone to like a run-of-the-mill theater, and I'm not even making it up. Like the 2 rows in front of me was full of Muslims whistling and cheering the movie. They loved it. Just today, it's funny. I watched the movie and I came back and I'm talking to you guys. I had to take my parents out. The guy at the valet at Geo World Plaza, he was Sajjad. So, I get out of the car. He's like, bhai, is samay aaye. He recognized me. I was like, हाँ. I was like, क्या? Dhurandhar देखने आया? मैं बोला, हाँ. Well, must movie है भाई. Like, I don't understand. Like, so first of all, who is taking this role as the, United Indian Muslim spokesperson? Like, I don't speak on behalf of every Indian Hindu. So I'm sure, I don't want to take, what makes Arfa the spokesperson of every single Muslim? Why weren't those two people, why wasn't Sajjad who told me, Arey, maja aa gaya bhai movie dekh ke. Dekho. Or, the Muslims whistling in front of me. And there were women wearing a burqa, by the way. They were in the cinema hall where I was. And they were enjoying the movie. Look, I too don't even understand how this movie's anti-Muslim angle has come. It's like, I have seen my Muslim friends crack far worse jokes in my private conversations about everything. I, as a disbeliever, like I am a very open, known disbeliever, I crack jokes about Hindus too. Like, I don't understand this whole business.
No, but there's a difference, right? In your private conversation, you cracking these jokes or your Muslim friends cracking these jokes, as opposed to a film normalizing what is a crude reference to Muslims makes Arfa uncomfortable. And she's saying this just, very gently gets normalized, that it's okay to talk about an entire community in this fashion. It's like, a kind of a Islamophobic slur cannot be normalized by saying that, everyone uses it in their private life. Like a film using it normalizes it.
And also, Padmaja, it's not just about the Muslim community. Padmaja, just allow me 30 seconds.
Is that
just allow me 30 seconds.
Muh mein ram, bagal mein churi. Is there an unnecessary imposition of some kind of politics? Is your own politics, coloring your view of the film, Arfa?
No, like this is perpetual victimhood, Padmaja.
Perpetual victimhood.
No, Padmaja, what I'm trying to say here is that leave aside how it impacts Muslims. First of all, this is a very privileged point of view, number one. Number two, leave aside for a moment whether it is affecting Muslims or not. I am saying just think about the Hindu population. Think about the Hindu viewers. That what are you trying to tell them? How are you training them that their source of entertainment is demeaning, denigrating, cracking crude jokes on the other community, which is a minority community?
This is absurd.
Is this how you're going to,
this is
this what you're going to call entertainment?
I won't let this kind of a propaganda by Arfa.
I mean, the whole absurdity
Pakistanis
of
are
this
appreciating
drama
this film.
is
Pakistanis are coming out on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and Pakistani Muslims are saying that we love this film. Do not go with a bented political mind. Go with an open mind. And we have Arfa Khanum, self-declared community leader of Muslims in India, saying that do not watch this. This is against the Muslims. This is pro-BJP. This is pro-RSS. Nothing. If you have something against the film, speak on the technical aspects. Why can't you speak on the technical aspects? There's a very popular film critic of India who did a video just before the film, and she has to delete the video. Not because of us, because she is perhaps in guilt, she is perhaps in embarrassment. And today, Arfa cannot explain to the viewer of India what is wrong with the film.
And I have
if
never
she has any evidence that BJP and RSS are
I
involved,
never
why
said
not
I'm
put that
sitting
in
here
front of
as a representative of 200 million Muslims or
every time there is a terror attack in India, they say they are attacking the Indian Muslims. How are Indian Muslims impacted? Indian Muslims and Indian Hindus and Sikhs stand together against the Islamist terrorism from Pakistan. Now, every time we blame Pakistan, why does Arfa have a problem with that?
As an Indian citizen, I felt insulted as an Indian woman. I felt insulted as an Indian Muslim.
Like that.
And that is why, that's the whole point.
I'll give you a personal example.
Your name on X and you will know the reality, Arfa.
Okay, when you say that how can these things be made
Padmaja,
commonplace,
I want to make a point.
Ponga Pandit, for years and years we've had several portrayals of Brahmins, of pujaris in films where more often than not you used to have some pujari who turned out to be a rapist. Ponga Pandit, a guy with a chutiya, used to be a comical character. Now either I can take this upon myself and say, being a Pandit myself, I take serious offense and all Hindus and all Pandits are being denigrated by Bollywood, or I can say this is just a fictional character.
And nobody takes offense of such things. There are there are things like Naya Mulla Kare Allah Allah, Neem Hakim Khatrae Jaan. I can give you dozens of such examples where Muslims mock themselves, or even Hindus can mock Muslims, or Muslims can mock Hindus. We've never been this sensitive until the point that it became part of the cultural project to demean and target a particular community. And I have said this on another show, I'm saying it again, I have myself liked some parts of this film where there was no denigration, diminution, and all kinds of attacks were not taking place. The cinema, the absolute, cinematography is excellent. There are some parts of the film, and that is the whole part that makes me really sad, that with this power and the creative license that the directors and the producers of this film had,
so Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Toiba should be shown as NGOs and saints working for the progress of Indian Muslims.
They could have used all of this power to make a film which brought the different sections of the society together. Why make a film which divides people? Why make a film which profits this ruling political party, which thrives on divisions in the society? Why make this a film which makes a particular community feel
thousands and lakhs of people are going out and they
decide, how do we even decide something is a cultural project? Now, Arfa Khanam Sherwani, you are saying that I felt demeaned as a Muslim. Kushal has seen Sajjad in the hall, Sanjay Jha, and Sajjad told him ki bhai bada maza aaya. Leave alone Sajjad, who was the usher in that theatre, of all people, Iltija Mufti. Iltija Mufti, who cannot by any stretch of the imagination, Sanjay Jha, be called a supporter of the BJP's cultural project, has said, much outrage over Dhurandhar, but I quite liked the movie and found it interesting. The casting especially is perfection. Women, for once, as is the case in most violent Bollywood movies, were not used as props. Very well made. Now, who do I believe? Iltija Mufti or Arfa Khanam Sherwani? Sanjay Jha.
Padmaja,
who gets to be the spokesperson of Indian Muslims today?
I like the fact that you gave...
I'll just come to you, Arfa. I'll come back to you in a second,
I like the fact that you gave Iltija's example.
Okay, I'll come back to you in a second. Let Sanjay Jha speak. Sanjay
Jha. Padmaja, thanks. Good evening to you and to the panelists. I would like to start by actually quoting somebody who probably knows acting and cinema much more than anybody on the show. Let me quote to you Hrithik Roshan, probably one of the most popular actors in Hindi film industry for decades. This is what he said. I may disagree with the politics of the film and argue about the responsibility as filmmakers that we bear as citizens of the world. This is Hrithik Roshan's statement. And frankly speaking, you can't dismiss that as just a casual observation. If Hrithik Roshan, who's part of Hindi mainstream cinema and a very popular actor, questions the politics of this film, we rather take it seriously. Point number one.
I can quote to you Akshay Kumar, who said, watch Dhurandhar and I'm blown away. What a gripping tale. You simply nailed it, Aditya Dhar. We need our stories to be told in a hard-hitting way, and I'm so glad the audiences are giving the film all the love it deserves. I can quote to you Allu Arjun, who said, just watch Dhurandhar, a brilliantly made film filled with fine performances, the finest technical aspects, and an amazing soundtrack, magnetic presence by my brother Ranveer Official. Now, I am no judge of whether, Hrithik Roshan is superior in craft to Allu Arjun and Akshay Kumar. I don't know if you are.
Yeah. So, Padmaja, since you have called me to speak in the end, it just makes a little... you should have a dignified conversation where we get equal amount of time to make a point. The second point is crucial. Fine, all of you are more sophisticated in terms of your knowledge of Hindi cinema. I will take that point. Here is the bottom line. The bottom line is that since 2014, and I'm going to rattle for you 10 names. It's going to take me 30 seconds. The truth is that Hindi cinema has been weaponized to create and sell an ideology and promote a certain political party and its leader. Let me give you a couple of examples. Movies that have been released, and pay attention to them, I'm going to take 15 seconds. PM Narendra Modi, that was a film. Kashmir Files, we all know. Kerala Story. Article 370. Jahangir National University, poor JNU, was converted into a left liberal Islamic institution. Vaccine War. Swatantra Veer Savarkar. Godhra. The Sabarmati Report. Razakar. Akhir Palayan Kab Tak. accidental Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And many of these films actually released before the Lok Sabha elections. Now, I can tell you, this is unusual. I have tracked Hindi cinema for a long time.
Why?
But to see so many Hindi films, and you know what?
Why
they have a right to make
should Sabarmati files be made?
Okay,
why
let me
shouldn't
explain to
Article
you.
370 be made?
Well, let me explain to you. There is
These
nothing
things
wrong
happened.
for anyone to
The
make a
Sabarmati
biopic.
Express was burnt in Godhra.
Padmaja,
Why
if you
shouldn't
let
the
me
film be
finish
made?
a sentence.
The tragedy is that a film wasn't made all of these years.
No. If you let me finish a sentence, we'll have a highly civilized output by the time the program is over. My simple logic here is, you are free to make a biopic in whoever you love. You're free to make films. You can even make a fictionalized narration based on a real event. The problem is that this is pregnant with gross distortions, exaggerations, and misrepresentation. They become part of a
what was the gross
disinformation
distortion?
campaign.
What
In
was
the
the gross
Kerala
distortion?
story,
Since we're talking about a
in the
film,
Kerala
what was the
story-
distortion in Durandar? Because
One
somebody
minute.
who researched it is sitting right here, so you should
No,
ask
one
him.
minute.
Why did
Let
he
me
distort
give you
it?
one example. Let me
Yeah.
give you one. Forget Dhurandhar for a moment. I'm giving you Kerala story example that Narendra Modi.
Sir,
has
let's talk
name
about
the movie.
Dhurandhar. No, we are not
Okay,
here
okay.
to
One
speak for
minute.
some old film.
On
Padmaja.
Kerala story.
No,
the
why not Article
producer said
370?
there were
I was associated with Article 370 also.
And that no
Article
evidence
370 is a
and that no
reality.
story.
Sanjay Jha, don't spread propaganda. And you know, Sanjay Jha, I have great
Please
respect for
answer
you.
on Kerala
You're a great
story.
speaker, you're a
The
great
director
orator,
said there
Sanjay
were
Jha.
32,000
But your
Padmaja,
leader,
all of
Rahul
these
Gandhi,
issues-
says that he's a
Padmaja,
Janayatari
all of
Brahmin.
these issues
And I come from the
are
same community of Kashmiri
ideological
Pandits.
agenda
So what was
of the
agenda in
100
Kashmir files? What
This
was
is the
propaganda in Kashmir
ideological
files?
agenda
What
of the
about Article
BJP and
370?
RSS,
It tells
whether
the
it
reality
is
of the Hawala
Article
scam,
370
the reality
or
of the
even triple
separatists in the
talaq.
Kashmir
We
Valley.
just also
Why are you
witnessed another film
uncomfortable,
called
Arfa, suddenly? Why do you suddenly get uncomfortable when we name Islamist terrorists and Islamist terror groups?
Hello.
Padmaja, I want to
goes a
reply to
propaganda
your
man.
previous
I'm just
question.
coming back to you, Arfa. Let Sanjay Jha finish
is the
his
real
point.
propaganda
me
man.
time.
And the fact that he's a consultant to the film is enough
Sir, okay.
evidence.
You know, I
of
will
his
not let
right-wing
this
Islam.
devolve
Ridiculous.
into a
Sorry.
personal attack.
Shameless and ridiculous.
I will not let this devolve into a personal attack. Anyone cannot be branded simply because you disagree with their point of view.
People of India are
as
speaking
a
of Sanjay
propaganda
Jha.
man.
Sanjay Jha, you
Point
can
out
hide in your
factual
room. You can
inaccuracies.
hide in your room, but the
You tell
people
him
of
to
India are
stop.
speaking.
Okay, one second.
He
One
called
second.
people
Sanjay
an
Jha, no.
Islamic
I will not
sympathizer.
allow
What
a
a joke.
personal attack on any
You
one
want to
person.
stop him?
You please name to me which exact point in the film struck you as factually inaccurate and propaganda. Name one.
In the Kerala story,
Arey, talk about
Speak about
Dhurandhar.
Dhurandhar.
I have not seen the film. Why should
No.
I? Why should I?
Why?
Why should
You
I? have
haven't
to
seen
comment
Dhurandhar, you
about
have a
it?
problem with it.
How are you debating
You
it
have
then?
already
Talking
declared it
about-
propaganda without watching it.
Hello, Padmaja,
This is
listen.
laughable.
I don't watch a film which is very clearly driven with an agenda to make Mr. Modi look like the Hindus
How
are
do you
mascot. I'm
know?
not
Funny,
interested.
hilarious.
I'm
How
not
do you
interested
know
in
if
that
you
film.
haven't watched it?
Padmaja, I need to
I have
How
read
do
a lot
you
of
know if you
reports.
haven't watched it, Sanjay Jha?
Well,
I
did
mean,
you
I
read?
went literally and watched every
can-
single film, even it made me uncomfortable. We
Padmaja,
watched Final
Padmaja.
Solutions. We have gone and
Well, I
watched
don't have.
Parzania.
I'm not
Padmaja.
obligated to watch a film in the first weekend. Have you read out the extract of the Film Critics Guild? Can you put it up on your show?
Okay.
Can you put up what
you
the
are
Film
not
Critics Guild has
obligated
said?
to watch any film, but
Can
I
you
can't
put up what the
understand
Film
how you
Critics
can
Guild has said
critique
on the
it
criticism
without
against
actually
women?
knowing what is in it. You have deemed it propaganda without even knowing its contents. If I do not read the book, how do I know it is a bakwas book?
Well,
I need
well,
to
to
read
be-
the book to know it is bakwas.
This is
Well,
Shuddha
to be
Desi
honest
propaganda
with
by
you,
Sanjay
I
Jha.
have commented on
Shuddha
many
Desi
things. I don't
propaganda
have
by
to play
Sanjay
cricket
Jha.
to be a
Okay,
commentator.
very quickly, Kushal, and I'm
For
coming to you,
God's
Alpha.
sake.
Very quickly, Kushal.
There are 3 points. It's actually shocking to me as a person who's just seen the movie twice. I actually think the movie does a damn good job at criticism of BJP and Congress, because it starts in the NDA kind of Vajpayee era and then goes into the Congress era and then goes later on, slightly later on. It actually is pretty balanced. I think it does not show Vajpayee government in any good light either. As a person that's what I extracted out of it. I think it was critical of both the government. So that, and as far as this propaganda bit is concerned, are we that naive? Like, I don't care. Seriously, I just go there. मैं अभी पिक्चर में जाके मोरालिटी के लेसन्स नहीं ले रहा हूँ, मैं एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए जा रहा हूँ. भाई मेरे से क्या क्या उम्मीद रखते हो? मतलब एक आदमी पिक्चर देखने जाए, उसके अंदर फिर वो जेम्स बॉन्ड के जैसे प्रोपेगेंडा ढूंढे, फिर उसके बाद भाई मैंने 500 रुपया खर्चा किया पॉपकॉर्न का और 200-300, मैं जाके पिक्चर देखने वाला हूँ. तुम मेरे से क्या क्या रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट की उम्मीद कर रहे हो भाई? और ये आप एंड टू हैव दिस नाइव एक्सपेक्टेशन, मतलब हम क्या है? ओ भाई, CIA 1960s में करता था प्रोपेगेंडा अपने देश के लिए. मतलब you know what worries me is there are people in this country who think the state apparatus, whether Congress or BJP, should not do propaganda against Pakistan using movies. ओ भाई, कौन से लोग हैं ये लोग? मेरे को तो इनसे डर लग रहा है, गवर्नमेंट से कम.
अरफा,
बहुत शॉकिंग बात मुझे यहाँ ये लगी कि हमारे दोस्त को दूसरी कम्युनिटी का जब अपमान हो रहा है और जलील हो रही है वो कम्युनिटी, उनको वो एंटरटेनमेंट लग रहा है. कल को इस तरह के लोग भी आ जाएंगे. हमने ये भी देखा है कि सड़कों पर जब बुलडोजर चल रहे